What's up guys, Jerome here from the Bonsai Supply and happy Halloween. Today I'm going to answer 5 of your questions. Alright, so I would not recommend to work on adeniums this late in the year, even though I saw that you are in Florida as well. So I'm really far south and I don't work on adeniums anymore. I work on adeniums from like May through like maybe September for like the hottest time of the year. And that goes for pretty much all tropicals. I repot them at the hottest time of the year and I work them at the hottest time of the year. The same for the Codex chop. You want to make sure that you do it at the hottest time of the year, but you want to make sure that the plant still has enough time to recover before the fall and then the winter time. So I don't think your ball cypress is dormant at the moment. I think that it may have been exhausted from growing so much throughout the year, so I would not go ahead and fertilize it. What I would recommend is that next year, during the hottest months of the year, I would put my tree into a tub of water and just make sure that the top of the pot is not submerged underwater. So maybe halfway up the pot, and that way your tree will get enough water throughout the growing season. And this only applies for cypresses. Alright, so Mame and Shohin care. So these are my 2 Shohins. Actually they belong to Mari, but I take care of them, of course. So this is how I take care of them. So this is a sea hibiscus and this is a Nia buxifolia. Both are tropicals. The most important on Shohins, since they are in such small pots, you want to make sure that they don't dry out. So you want to make sure that you water them fairly frequently. And the most important is not to let them dry out, because they dry out so fast in these little pots. And now another little trick is, I take my Shohin pot and I place it on top of a larger pot so that the roots inside the pot can escape through the drainage holes and grow into this pot below, so that I can thicken up the top much faster, I can develop the branches much faster, because otherwise, since the pot fills up with roots so fast, I would have to repot it much more frequently versus if they can escape into the pot below. Now when I get ready to go to a show, I just lift it up and cut out the roots, and then I have my tree ready to go. So this is the best way to take care of these 2. For me, I think Shohin is extremely difficult. A lot of people think it's very easy, but I think it's very difficult because you work in such a small space and you need to use tweezers, and everything is much more delicate on a Shohin versus on a larger tree. Alright, so this question came all the way from Macedonia. Very cool. So the difference between conifers, which is what this tree is, and the deciduous trees, which is what this here is. So a conifer is a cone-bearing seed tree or shrub. So for example, a juniper is a conifer, a pine, a fir, a redwood is a conifer as well. So all the trees that do not lose their leaves, or that you should not defoliate. So something that's like an evergreen, but these trees do not lose their leaves. Where on the opposite side, this is an oak tree, which is a deciduous tree. They lose the leaves in fall, so they give you like a beautiful fall show where they change the leaf colors and then they shed them, right? And then you see that beautiful winter silhouette. Now in terms of collecting and repotting those trees, they're completely different from each other. So a conifer you would work on and repot mostly when it's very cold outside. So here in Florida, you would do it from like December to like the beginning of February. When it's really cold here in Florida, we have to wear closed shoes and sometimes even a sweater. Where the deciduous trees, We defoliate them here because it doesn't get cold enough. And then right before they start to wake up, when the new buds start to swell, that's when we would go ahead and repot this tree or collect it. Alright, so the best way to propagate adenium cuttings, for me, I find it that when you have your cuttings, you want to let them dry out in the shade for at least a couple of days. I wait maybe a week or two until the cut surface has been completely calloused over, so it's completely dry. And then I go ahead and I pot it into a very free draining soil mixture like this is. So this is our all-purpose soil mixture that I use, and I stick them inside, and then I wait another couple of days, and then I move them out into full sun, and then I start to water them about once a week. Once they start to push new growth, then I'm gonna go ahead and water every 3 days. Once they start to flower, I'm gonna water every day. So these cuttings here came off of our Socotronum, the very old tree that we have here, which is over 100 years old. And these cuttings are now for sale here at the store. Alright, so I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. And just make sure to leave some more questions.
Wait.
Yes.
We're forgetting something.
Oh.
So today is a very special Q&A. Not only because it's Halloween and Jerome agreed to wear what I bought for him, but because we reached our 15K subscribers. So to celebrate that with you, we would like to give 15 free bags to the 15 first comments in this video. What else are we going to give them?
Also, we are also going to give you a code below that you can use on our Amazon store to purchase our all-purpose soil mixture, and you get 15% off for 15 days.
Yeah, so trick or soil.
I choose soil.
So thank you so much for being our subscribers.
Yes.
And
Make sure to leave comments below for the next videos if you have more questions. And of course, as always, we'll catch you guys next time. All right.